With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. So, Call of Duty is a franchise that effectively has become way more cinematic over time. I would say Call of Duty Modern Warfare from 11 years ago really set the tone in terms of where the game can go, I guess, in regards to a cinematic experience. Because let's face it, Call of Duty Modern Warfare had a good story. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, especially the no Russian level, was a really impactful moment in gaming because it caused a huge controversy. And it's one of those things where you're like, wow, we're playing as the bad guys mowing down civilians in an airport. Holy God. And the stories from there have actually kind of been interesting. And they've been fun to watch in terms of being super over the top and just, you know, like it's standard. I guess the best way to describe it would be like Michael Bay type films. You watch, you turn your brain off, you know, you enjoy. So getting into doing a Call of Duty movie just makes sense because they already kind of tried this, to be fair. There's a movie that came out in 2012 called Act of Valor. It was a movie entirely shot on Canon 5Ds about U.S. Navy SEALs, and it really did feel like the closest thing to Call of Duty, the movie, that anyone has ever seen. And it's not a horrible film. Actually, it really does feel like you are watching a Call of Duty movie, but this will be a lot more high-tech and a lot crazier because apparently SICARIO 2's director is in talk to direct the film for Activision Studios. Now, we know that gaming studios are very much trying to get back into the movie game. Nintendo teamed up with Illumination for Mario. Ubisoft teamed up with Universal for, what is it? You've got the Division, as well as Watch Dogs has been optioned through there. We know that Tomb Raider comes out in a couple weeks from Square Enix is getting into the game again. So they're trying their hand at it again, and they're trying to avoid stuff like Super Mario Brothers from '93, Double Dragon, Street Fighter. You know what? Actually, screw it. I love all those damn movies. I don't care. They're pure classic '90s fun to me, and I'm fine with that. But it says here that Stefano Sollima, director of the upcoming SICARIO 2 Soldado, is in talks with Amazon Studios to direct a live-action adaptation of its Call of Duty series of games. As reported in Variety, Activision is quickly ramping up the adaptation for their film division and will now be looking for a writer. Well, if they're looking for a writer of a Call of Duty movie, might I recommend whoever the hell wrote Chris Morgan? Get Chris Morgan in, right? Chris Morgan wrote all the Fast and Furious movies, the last couple of those. I'm telling you, get Chris Morgan, okay? Like, if that is my number one pick for who could write a Call of Duty movie and turn it into a $1 billion potential franchise. It would be him because he's done it multiple times. The last couple Fast and Furious movies have crossed $1 billion, right? Like, I love them. You guys know this. So I'm just saying, ultimately, get that guy in there. Now, the film will be produced by Activision Blizzard Studios president Stacey Sher and Nick Van Dyke, along with Bobby Kotick, Activision Blizzard's chief executive. Oh, great. Bobby Kotick's involved. I expect the movie now to have microtransactions. Get him out of there. Screw Bobby Kotick. No one likes Bobby Kotick. No one. Ask anyone you know who follows gaming. Be like, what do you think of Bobby Kotick? They're like, oh, that guy? Man, fuck that guy. So no plot details have been released, though Sher has said in the past she hopes to turn the franchise into another shared universe similar to that of the MCU and DC films. And that could be their Achilles heel. That could be their ultimate downfall. We've learned over the course of 2017, at least, that trying to force start cinematic universes don't really work out very well. What they should do ultimately is seriously just make Modern Warfare, right? Do Modern Warfare 2, revamp the Modern Warfare 3 storyline, and then tie it into Black Ops. Do Modern Warfare trilogy, do a Black Ops trilogy, and then have them kind of go back and forth as they've kind of done, you know, somewhat a little bit in the games, but just have that be the shared universe. Just do that, right? And that, I think, would be the best course of action. And then, of course, getting into the other ones where, you know, what was the last one that just came out? Infinite Warfare, was that one? Or Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare. Those are interesting storylines. Those could be also part of it as well. But start with the Modern Warfare. Create that. Build off of that. Go from there. Bring in Black Ops. You know, talk about the Cold War, the Iran Contra, you know, controversy, all that jazz. Bring in Ollie North. Do that. Because at this point in time, start with Black Ops. Start with Black Ops, bring in all that, get that whole situation going, and tell that story, because the Iran-Contra controversy right now is relevant, because we're in an 80s nostalgia situation with Hollywood, with games, with movies and stuff, pop culture, I should say, and that again coming up again on nearly 40, over 30 years ago, is something that I think would be good. That's just what I want to say about that. Now it says here, if you want a taste of Sollima's work, be sure to check out the SICARIO sequel, which opens on June 29th. And other than that, there's no information. But the SICARIO 2 sequel, the trailer looks pretty good. It looks pretty violent, pretty action-packed, and that's ultimately what Call of Duty is. Denis Villeneuve, who did the first SICARIO, would probably take Call of Duty to more of I guess you could say, like, an avant-garde plane in terms of how he'd handle it. I don't think a slow, methodical film like Arrival or Blade Runner would be good for Call of Duty, but keep it ramped up with action. Like I said, bring in Chris Morgan, who did Fast and Furious. Make that the thing, and I think they'd have a good shot at telling a pretty solid story with good characters, a lot of action, and just give it a right budget, not too big, keep it grounded well enough, and then go from there. Here's the sad thing, and I'll catch a lot of crap for saying this. I'm actually legitimately excited for a Call of Duty movie if done right, because I've been playing that franchise for a very, very, very long time. I've always liked the franchise. I've always liked the stories that they tell, and I'm excited to see it transferred to the big screen.